Did Jiang know all along? Apparently, to understand better, let's wind it back to a year ago. This time, we're looking into Jiang's side. Back then, Jiang decided to explore coding world online by herself and was instantly transported to the Great Duck's coding world. At the lobby, she saw many characters looking for various things ranging from friends, support, medics, and even bald lesbians looking for love. As I've said, they're a variety. She was just minding her own business when she saw her future Lao Po, happy little wanderer, a few feet away from her looking for a teammate to help carry her through coding world. Back then, Lao Po was just a mere level 20 player. Another player approached Lao Po, saying they'll carry her for 10 GP per run, but the little wanderer only has 3 GP. Upon hearing that, the player left and scoffed at her offer. 3 GP ain't even enough for a resurrection token. Jiang thought that she was going anyway and might as well take the poor little wanderer with her. She was just about to lay down a few instructions when her future Lao Po high key yodeled through her in-ears, thanking her for the hard carry. Jiang remained impassive as ever and only told the little wanderer to lower her volume before they headed to the coding world together. But she's more surprised that the person who offered to help her was actually a girl too. Once there, Jiang went at it like a freaking member of the Ombu assassination corps, much to the others' delight. Since she had nothing to do, Little Wandered started asking Jiang a few things, like if she had a boyfriend, but the latter was quick to point out that she was as straight as seaweed. No, but seriously, has she ever seen a straight girl play an FG Corp game? Nope, they're all gay. Just then, Little Wanderer started making random comments about Jiang's fast hands and even dubbed them the magic wands of the mortal realm. The former spat her drink upon hearing that, suddenly feeling shy for the outpour of praises. How can she say something so embarrassing like this out loud? But Little Wanderer continued to yap while Jiang threw in a few tutorials here and there to help her out. She only needed to take down the last few enemies before she called Little Wanderer over. A moment later, the ground collapsed and out came the reward. Duck Angel's short staff. Jiang grabbed it and was about to hand it to her when she noticed the little wanderer was busy stuffing her bag with duck feathers. Eh? As a mage, didn't she want this stuff to begin with? Well, Little Wanderer prioritizes the duck feathers, since there are a lot of things you can do with them. Suddenly, Jiang received a voice chat telling her that she was waiting at the Demon King Ridge. She's done with coding world anyway, so with that, Jiang bid the little wanderer bye, who happily did the same. The next day, Jiang was surprised to see the little wanderer in the coding world lobby looking for someone to carry her again. This time, she's holding a placard offering 3 GP per round. She approached her asking if she was still looking for duck feathers, and the latter affirmed. She just wants the duck feathers, not the equipment, so Jiang said she'll do it since she has 2 more tries. She was about to head out when she noticed the little wanderer still hadn't gotten up, which prompted her to ask what was wrong. Little Wanderer admitted that she doesn't have enough GP with her to carry them for 2 rounds because she only has 5. Jiang contemplated for a moment before telling her that it was fine. She was still going anyway. With Jiang's god-tier skills, it didn't take long for them to conquer the field, so the little wanderer found herself collecting duck feathers again after the end of the round. Can she really make something out of those duck feathers? Little Wanderer answered that she uses it to maintain her duck beach. Her duck what? Is that even a thing? Apparently it is. And you just have to be at least level 40 with crafting. Level what? As a level 20, hearing how someone is level 40 out there is practically a god to Jiang. And yes, Little Wanderer is a level 40. With that, she happily asked her hard carrier if she wanted to see what she would do with it. She almost called Little Wanderer Aladdin, because this was a whole new world. Jiang couldn't believe Little Wanderer did all this. Is she some Minecraft goddess? Are they even playing the same game? Happy Little Wanderer's mansion was full of, what else? Wonder, no pun intended. The OG game was an action-adventure game, so how in the heck did Little Wanderer turn it into her own Animal Crossing simulation? She even created a standee of the leader, dropping in a few game secrets here and there. Jiang was so excited she shared this discovery within their group chat. Little Wanderer's mansion brags of its own Tiao Tiao photo studio, tea garden, and even an onsen. Currently, Jiang's relaxing at the Duck Private Beach, saying how it's a shame they can't sell all of this. But it's just a game, so it's cool if they can just play it at their own leisure. With that said, Zhang offered to carry her in the future as well, making little Wanderer beam again. The next day, Zhang was supposed to play with Li since they needed help at the Demon King Ridge when she suddenly received a message from Little Wanderer. The latter was asking if she was going to Coding World, and even though Zhang was already about to go to Li, she decided to tell her friend that she was going to Coding World instead. Since then, Zhang has spent every day carrying Little Wanderer through the Coding World, switching between there and the former's Duck Beach. Before they realized it, they had already spent 2 months playing together. In the 3rd month, they were on standby at the lobby of the Coding World when Little Wanderer pointed out how one of the ducks was pretty stupid. After that, they both logged off, and as soon as she was out, Zhang received a message notification from her phone. She saw that it was a voice message from Little Wanderer, and clicked to hear the latter bidding her goodnight in the most kawaii voice ever. Before she knew it, Zhang kept pressing play multiple times as a small smile formed on her face. At Heavenly Dog Super Smash's main city, one of Zhang's friends, Li, tries to pick up girls inside the game. Unfortunately, she was flat out rejected because her avatar was a muscular dog, something the other girl hated. Poor Li was about to cry her eyes out when she heard the PA's voice congratulating user Ginger Yuzu T, Zhang, and Happy Little Wanderer for achieving Friend Aircraft Carrier. What's impressive about this is that it will never capsize. It's their ship literally sailing. Yo, Li couldn't believe what she heard. Did Zhang really achieve 10,000 friendship points? Just how many missions did they complete together? Zhang's still pretty nonchalant about it, just as her now Lao Po bids her usual goodnight voice message. She was already feeling giddy from receiving such a sweet message, ignoring the bitter trash talk sent her way on their group chat. Zhang slept that night with that same sheepish smile, something she even carried well through office hours. Li was the one forced to bear witness to Zhang's smitten era. The girl almost even started eating with her nostrils. Okay, that's it. It's time to pop her bubble. Li told her straight up that online dating was only fun at the beginning. Once the rose-colored glasses come off, then everything's crap. Plus, did Zhang really think that her Little Wanderer is actually a pretty girl? Zhang retorts that she's not that shallow. You know, homegirl's in too deep, because even if her Lao Po looked like a dog in the game, she knows that she's still very cute in real life. Later that night, Zhang stares intently at her phone, deciding whether she should ask her Lao Po to meet with her. In the end, she just heaved a sigh and hung her head in low spirits. Zhang woke up to someone calling out to her laogong and saw a photo of a balding woman in front of her. It was really just Li screwing around. Zhang was so startled she got up from her seat, annoyed at what her friend just pulled. Li remains unfazed. In fact, she thinks this baldy is what Zhang's Lao Po really looked like. Hell, she may even be more baldy than the picture they're looking at. Zhang couldn't even rebut that, so she only kept quiet. A little harsh, but that real talk's a little too real. Li's already put the idea on Zhang's head, so our poor homegirl can't help but feel anxious. We're already halfway through our video and nearing the end of our story. So if you want to gas us up a little more, it wouldn't hurt to consider giving us a super thanks so we can pump out more videos like this. Now, back to the story. Later, one of her co-workers calls out to Zhang. Mr. Gu asked for her to attend the meeting held at 1407. As soon as she stepped out of the room, Zhang heard a voice from the end of the hall that sounded awfully familiar. She stopped in her tracks because even she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Was she imagining things? Curious to see who the voice belongs to, Zhang turns in the direction of the voice and sees a dark-haired girl standing by the window with her back against Zhang. She knows this voice. Is this her Lao Po? The girl continues to speak in a sugary, kawaii voice before switching to her real voice as she curses the other person on the line once she hangs up. Finally, the girl turns around and makes eye contact with Zhang, and the latter feels that familiar ba thump. As if that wasn't bad enough, she starts to gay panic seeing the girl was about to walk over to her. Zhang retreated to her office, hiding away from Herr Yao. She takes a peek at the latter's retreating back, contemplating how a Java geek like her could really be that lucky to score a beauty like that. It's well believed that Java girls have pretty decent luck. Just take, for example, the company's very own Java nerd, Zhang. Exhibit A. Zhang spent a wonderful afternoon with a certain someone, aka Herr Yao, who is very much suspected to be the former's online wife. It was a team effort, and they even had Joe go home at the exact time for this. Exhibit B. By then, Jiang was almost pretty sure that Heryao was her online laopo, especially since one time the beautiful supervisor dropped by the office late at night to give them boba tea. Well, the others also benefited from this, but who cares? Free boba tea. It was a good start until the thing happened. Jiang's laopo suddenly blocked her for no reason at all. Of course, her friends have their own opinions, saying maybe little wanderer must have been scared of Jiang's big simp energy. In the end, she couldn't take it and broke down crying at the office. Her friends tried to comfort her, saying straight girls would get their due. Just like that, a few months have already passed until the day of the celebratory dinner. Initially, they weren't going until Joe mentioned that she was going to invite Heryao to come with her. Finally, her redemption arc. It's her chance to either make a move or make things right, so God bless Joe. This would have been swell until it wasn't. All night, Heryao only entertained Mr. Gu drinking with him as she egged him on. Hearing their conversation just then, Jiang couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed at seeing how this exact same tactic was how Heryao got her wrapped around her finger. Although she didn't show it during dinner, Jiang was fuming on the inside and green with jealousy. So now we're back to the present. Jiang really brought a long receipt of Heryao's atrocities to her. Of course, being the stubborn woman that she is, Heryao remained quiet. But gotta give credit to Jiang though. She really made Heryao seem like the bad guy in the story. In the end, she could only retort with this question. Why did Jiang even tell her about the online couples living their own lives crap when she knew it was her all along? And what's up with calling her old lady? By now, Heryao was already poking the younger's cheek, asking if she had fun teasing the former. Jiang shook her head fervently before they were locked in a glare once again. Butch Sakura shook her head again, and this time, she changed tactics, playing off about how she was worse off than Heryao. Jiang didn't hesitate to address herself with the nickname Heryao called her early on, the magic wand of the mortal realm, which had it worse the last 3 months because she was sad and single. A moment later, they turned serious as Jiang gingerly tapped Heryao's hand, asking for a kiss. Heryao was too taken aback by the request that her hand jerked the happy little great duck figure out the window. The two of them only stared at it before exchanging looks as Jiang pulled her in and grabbed her by the neck for a kiss. At first, Heryao was startled, but she decided to cave in and return the kiss. They were quite at it for a long while because now it started to rain again. After what seemed to be an eternity, they broke the kiss and started acting shyly again. It was Jiang who broke the silence as she asked the other woman what shade of lipstick she was wearing. Heryao told her that it was the apple-colored viral one called FGNL37. Jiang brushed her thumb against Heryao's bottom lip as she started to kiss her again, but this time, Jiang's kisses went down to Heryao's neck. The latter felt ticklish and told her to stop a few times before ultimately pushing Jiang back. This time, Jiang knew how to play her cards and called her laopo, asking what was wrong. Heryao only called her a perv, recounting how she didn't have permission to touch the other and taking advantage of her. This time, Jiang knew better and kept her mouth shut as Heryao continued to list a couple of not-so-nice adjectives her way. But it's not her fault. It's the artist who made her do that. You best believe Heryao had a lot of things to say. And it wasn't until she mentioned how doing it inside the car that Jiang finally got it. Of course, she's still a lady. There needs to be some sort of delicacy. With that, she asked Heryao if she can come inside, seeing how she's got a pretty big house. She really thought she got it in the bag, but Heryao only continued to scold her. Besides, her sister could come in anytime soon. Heryao was back to poking Jiang's cheek, scolding her for getting too comfortable, then acting all cold toward her. Trying to appease her annoyed wife, Jiang tries to sweet-talk her way through things, even hugging Heryao as she explains that she lost control upon seeing such a beautiful girl. Now's her chance. Jiang continued to rub her face over Heryao's chest when suddenly, the latter's phone lit up with a text notification. Heryao checked and saw that it was from her sister, informing her that she'll be back tomorrow. There was a pregnant pause as both of them continued to stare at the screen before Jiang got energized. Thank you, Joe, for coming in clutch once again. This time, Jiang's more pushy than ever, even though Heryao's a bit worried since her sister may come back earlier. Well, car fun it is. And with that, The happy little great duck figure bore witness as Lao Po and Laogong finally became one. And that's how the manhwa ends, with Lao Po and Laogong finally together in real life. If you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our uploads. And if you liked this video, then you should check out the next one.